Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here, coming at you with another fight night. Yes, we already mentioned it before. We alluded to this day when we did the first go round with Glory Maelstrom. Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion, Subblood has finally descended onto standard, and just like Glory Maelstrom, this is definitely just like Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion D series, but so much better. So we're gonna go ahead and throw him up to bat against his eternal rival Glory Maelstrom, as we see through several iterations of Vanguard's history. And going on the other side of the fence this time around, we've actually got Xenon piloting said Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion the Blood. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. And as late as it may be, I promise I'll do my best.
You bet, bro. We're recording this quite late because, well, we got schedules and lives and stuff, and also we was chatting with some folks in the meantime. And funnily enough, I wasn't even the one supposed to be doing this this fight night. It was supposed to be Nabs piloting Glory Maelstrom, but don't you guys worry, I am proficient with the deck. So let's go ahead and start our stuff, eh? I won the die roll as log dictates, so let's go ahead and get this going. Stand up.
Stand up the
Vanguard. Officer to Cadet Eric.
Art Kid Dragoon.
Okay. Oredotan. Draw. Okay. Okay. From my hand, I discard Battle Siren Dorcia. Ride Tier Knight Theo. Get the energy generator and pass turn.
Alright. Draw. I would get 3 energy, but I'm going to then discard Cardfight to ride Red River Dragoon.
Red River Dragoon.
Activating the effect of Spark Kid, I draw 1. Then Fallheart, I draw another. Red River Dragoon is going to attack your Vanguard for 8.
I don't guard.
Drive check. Critical trigger. All effects go to my Vanguard.
The first check. Ooh, draw trigger. Benefited. We'll draw a card off that. And then my second. No trigger.
That ends my turn.
Alright. Bokunutan. Draw. Energy charge. From my hand, I'll discard Wheel Assault. Ride into Marine General Restless Tide Algos. With skill of Tier Knight Thea, when rode upon by Algos, I'll be able to search the deck for a Blue Storm Armada card and add it to the hand, thus shuffling after the fact. Now, we only have one Blue Storm Armada card, so from my deck to my hand, I'm going to be adding Judgment Maelstrom. Where are you, my dear? You're probably somewhere in the middle of the pack. There we go. Okay, and then I shuffle the deck. All right. Now then. I call. With skill of Illicritus, when placed, if I have my Aquaforce Vanguard here, I'll be able to look at the top 7 cards of the deck. I could add a Maelstrom or Blue Storm Armada card, but nothing there. So for now, I'm going to simply shuffle. Alright, this is how we'll do it. I attack with my Rearguard Tier Knight.
I won't guard this one. Damage check. Extend range.
Go Algos.
I will guard this one with the critical trigger that I hit you with last turn.
Wow. Well, thank you for letting me know that's the culprit. The Burning Heart of Justice will come after him. Oh my god!
Over Trigger. Vanguardにパワープラス1億。クリティカルプラス1。
アタックが通る。
さらに全熱すべてパワープラス1枚ドロー、そしてダメージも回復。カインは嵐となって全てをなぎ倒す。
no, actually though, shoot. You know what? Thankfully, this isn't a damage check.
This OT does want to haunt me, so...
This OT, okay, I recover a damage. And y'all saw I shuffled the deck. You already know I shuffled, bro. This OT, I'm telling y'all, this OT is a son of a bitch. Hey, to you guys who frequent my streams, you know Blessed Favor is an actual full-blown meme. This card always comes in. Shoot, if I know I was going to get Blessed Favor, I should have attacked with the Vanguard first. What the heck am I doing? Next, we're going to draw 2 cards in total from that. And the critical is going to obviously go to the... Oh, okay, I needed that. It's going to go to the Vanguard. The front trigger effect doesn't really matter, though. So, yeah, okay. 2 damage for you.
First jump. Caution. Second jump. Rising Phoenix.
All right. With the tables having been sufficiently turned, I pass turn on that. I do not feel good OTing there. Jesus. What the? I mean, don't get me wrong. That was good timing for it, but like, man, why twice in a row? At least Glory Maelstrom is like giving the OT instead of receiving the OT.
OT giveth and OT taketh.
Yeah, especially with this one.
There's just one card that I never failed to draw for turn when it would have been better.
I feel ya. That would be Zahid trigger.
I'm going to discard a draw trigger to ride Thunderstorm Dragoon. The effective Red River Dragoon. I'm going to search my deck for the Order Eternal Thunderbolt. Unlike Theo, this card specifies the order I draw, so I only get to run the 1.
Gotcha.
Shuffle my deck. I add this to my hand. I'm gonna call my new grade 2, almost very identical to Eloquent, Demonic Dragon Nymph Kashi. Kashi's ability lets me check the top 7 cards of my deck for a Vermillion or an Eternal Thunderbolt. We'll take the Persona Ride.
Nice. Okay, so you did hit off this one. Look at that art. Oh, it's great.
This art easy, not cute.
Oh, sheesh. It's not quite Glory Maelstrom, but it's close.
And for this, I will choose to actually put the Eternal Thunderbolt in my hand into the soul. Better than
Fair enough.
After that, I call Spark Spike Right. This card continuously gives 5k power to the unit in front of it, river specifically, if I have a Narukami Vanguard.
If your Vanguard hits you more times, 10,000 power instead. Ooh.
But fun fact, this power gain is also active during your turn.
Oh god, I didn't even realize that. What the frick? Shoot, dude. No wonder it says rear guard. Yep. Otherwise we would have a Stephanie here. Ooh, how much counterblast?
This is 10.
Oh frick, I'm not gonna lie, after like OTing you that way, I'm a little intimidated that you're going to hit me with a crit again, because Karma loves to like swing things back the other way, so I'll guard for an OT to pass. Don't break it.
Revive check.
Okay.
Fall hard.
Okay. We're safe for now, but still, I fully expect that justice will come and bite me in the ass later, and I deserve it. So.
And this will attack your Vanguard for 23.
No guard. Damage check. Alright, a critical trigger. All effects to Eloquentness.
I end my turn there.
Alright. Stand on the draw. Okay. From my hand, I'll discard a Judgment Maelstrom. An energy charge. torrent of water and air. Spin yourself into the form of a terrible dragon. Fulfill the promise given that day and revive this glorious clan. Ride, Blue Storm, Supreme Dragon, Glory Maelstrom! Algos skill. When Algos is rode upon by my Maelstrom, I'll be able to look at the top 7 cards of the deck and get either an Aqua Force or Tear Dragon from among them to be called to the rearguard circle of play. So, let's see what we got here today. Ooh. Weave options. Okay. I call Tidal Assault and shuffle the deck.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Next up, from my hand, I play Judgment Maelstrom. When played, I can choose a card with only Aqua Force or Tear Dragon in its clan or type and call it from drop zone to the rear guard of play. So, from the drop zone, I call Wheel Assault. Next up, with the skill of Glory Maelstrom. If my soul or rear circle has a Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, it'll get their active abilities and the front row units will get 5,000 power for each Blue Storm Armada card in my order zone. So, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff right away. I call Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom to the back row center. Then, since it inherits the skill of Maelstrom, I'm going to discard from my hand. And, from the soul, I call Marine General the Restless Tide Algos. However, because you're only at grade 2, it doesn't get the restand effect inherited from Maelstrom. But, this still means I have a full field locked and loaded and the ability to give 5,000 power to my front row units. Let's go ahead and display it with a counter here, as this is a continuous effect that'll apply to even new units that shift to the front row. And believe me, that's hyper relevant with this deck. I don't know why he gave me a second counter. We'll ignore it. Alright, now, what should I name this? Oh, this is simple. Justice! Which is also my favorite Gundam. Now. Elecrinus attacks the Vanguard for 15.
I'm going to guard this with a Dynamo.
Okay. Elecrinus' effect. At the end of the battle that it attacked, if I have a grade 3 or greater Maelstrom Vanguard, I can counterblast 1 in order to swap positions within the rear guard. So then, I swap positions. Tidal Assault attacks. With Tidal Assault skill, I Soul Blast 1 in order to grant 5,000 power to my Blue Storm Supreme Dragon. 15 on your Vanguard.
I will... Yeah, I will no-god this one. Damage check. Heal trigger. I recover 1 point of damage. I give 10,000 power to my bank.
Ooh, and that point of damage recurred is crucial because Rising Phoenix has an ability from the drop zone. Not bad at all. Tidal Assault skill. At the end of the second wave, if I have a Maelstrom Vanguard in the stand position, I can counterblast 1 to stand Tidal Assault as well. Alright. Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom attacks. 23 on the Vanguard.
Very interesting. More cards. Bring it on. I won't guard.
Twin Drive. Boss to check. No trigger. Second check. No trigger.
Another damage check.
Whew. Alright. With no defensive there, I can keep going. Marine General the Restless Tides is up next. Algos attacks. When it attacks and it's the 4th battle of the turn or more, and I have a Grade 3 or greater Maelstrom Vanguard, Algos gets 5,000 power and the skill that when it hits a Vanguard, I can draw a card. This will be for 20 on 20 against Thunderstorm Dragoon.
I won't let you hit, as I'll guard with Thal, allowing me to draw one card.
With Energy Blast 3, not bad. Okay.
That can let me draw.
Oh, it will. It's just trying to process what flavorful card to give you here.
Alright, I think it just didn't.
There we go.
Cool.
Next up, Tidal Assault with support from Wheel Assault, 23 on your Vanguard. I obviously won't be using Tidal Assault's Soul Blast skill, as there's no point.
And I'll guard with the Rising Peaks.
Not bad. Optimal, in fact. Okay, Wheel Assault's skill. At the end of the battle that it boosted, if I have a Maelstrom Vanguard, I'm sure you're tired of me specifying that, but it's on all these cards. I Soul Blast a card in order to swap 2 of my rearguard's positions. So, Algos moves to the back, sliding Maelstrom up to the front, and he takes aim at your Vanguard, Thunderstorm Dragoon. With skill of Glory Maelstrom, which activates in this moment, if my Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom the rearguard attacks, provided that's the 4th turn of the attack or more, or 4th attack of the turn or more, I mixed that up, then not only does he get 5,000 power into end of turn, but I can retire one of your rearguards and draw a card. I'll be retiring that pesky grade 1 in the back row and drawing a card. This is for 23 on your Vanguard.
I won't guard. Damage. Other order.
Alright. At the end of the turn, due to the secondary skill inherited from Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, Algos returns to the barracks that is the soul. I end my turn.
Stand and draw.
I call that a successful turn, wouldn't you?
That was a very nice turn. Now it's my turn. Silver sword and heavenly wings, bring forth the fury of a raging storm. I ride Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion, the blood.
Let's go.
Activating the effect of Thunderstorm Dragoon, I check the top 7 cards in my deck and add 1 Narukami unit or 1 Eternal Thunderbolt. From my hand to my hand, I add Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion, and I energy for 3.
Yay!
However, that 3 energy won't last for much longer. I call Bellicosity Dragon.
Ooh.
Bellicosity, like Dancing Cutlass from the first Glory Fight Night, is a card that works well in a clan that is not its own. Bellicosity skills are active if I have a member with 1 clan and no G-Zone. Its first skill is to Energy Blast 3, take 1 card in my hand and add it to the soul, to then draw 2 cards.
That's a Skull Witch
Now-
domain, but instead of CB, it Energy Blast 3. That's epic. Amazing.
I'm going to activate the act ability of, actually first, before that, the continuous effect of Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion, the blood is active. While Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion is in my soul, it gets plus 5,000 power. And then, if you are at grade 3, that plus 5,000 power is also given to my front row units.
That puts
And I
us
also
at even
get a
power.
critical.
Not bad. Ooh, and a
Now I-
critical.
Now I Soul Blast Eternal Thunderbolt, give Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion the ability that when it attacks, I attack your Vanguard and 2 rearguards of my choosing. And now
Alright.
after that, Eternal Thunderbolt from the drop zone activates. It plays itself and then binds afterwards. This gives my Vanguard 2 continuous abilities. When its attack hit any of your rear guards, they are bound instead of retired. And then, if you have no units in the front row, my front row rear guards gain 5,000 power.
Oh, this is brutal. I think I know which 2 units are gonna hit.
Oh, I have a good feeling I know what I'm going after. How far am I willing to extend this? Do I like? Because at the time of finding my order, the Rising Phoenix in my drop zone can activate if I so wish.
Yep, with its skill, when any card is bound during your turn by your card effect, you can Soul Blast to call it.
I may leave it. I'm going to call from my hand a Rising. Now it's go time. Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion will attack, and it will choose your Tidal Assault and Dragonic Maelstrom to attack alongside your Vanguard. 18k to the Vanguard with 2 crit, 18k to Tidal Assault, and 18k to Dragonic Maelstrom.
Alright, but I won't let you. From my hand, I activate Elementaria Sanctitude, a Blitz order. Discarding Judgment Maelstrom to protect my rear guard Maelstrom.
That's very interesting.
Tidal Assault is vanquished, and I'll be taking your Vanguard's attack with Glory Maelstrom, unfortunately. Go for it.
Drive check first. No trigger. Drive check second. Draw trigger. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is Velocity Dragon gains 5,000 power at the time I attacks. And now, first I draw color. And then, I'll give 10,000 power to my group.
Alright. Elementaria Sanctitude removes itself from play.
So go on, take your 2 damage.
Foster check. No trigger. Second check. No trigger.
Alright then. At this moment, I activate the Blood's Ether ability. It's a carbon copy of Dragonic Kaiser's order. Since I played a normal order, at the end of the battle he attacked, I discard a card from my hand and ping you 1 damage while you have less than 4 cards in your deck. So.
Ooh. Damage check. No trigger.
That's what I like to see. Now, but how many cards in that hand of yours can keep up?
Any Rising Phoenixes?
Not yet. Velocity Dragon boosted by Rising Phoenix will attack your Vanguard for 20.
With Planar Prevent Dragon, Tanzangado, I discard Thunderstorm Maelstrom.
So I'm gonna note, this card is mistranslated. And this is going to where it's come up. Where it's going to come up now. Hashin will attack and activating her ability. She counterblasts 1 and gives herself an additional 10k power for this battle. And then, at the end of this battle, she binds herself.
Uh-oh.
This is 35,000 to your Vanguard.
Oh, crap. But that means that at the end of that battle, you can get Rising Phoenixes.
I can get 2 Rising Phoenixes.
And because Dragonic Kaiser Vermillion has oh, with no defensives, I can't stop that. Oh crap.
So what will it be?
I can't do it. Damage trigger check. No trigger. GG. GG. I was like, SpaghettiOs. I've got. I thought I had it for a second. Because the last card I had a PG, right? But no, because the thing that wins this game more than anything is that bind enabling the. So yeah, no wonder you didn't do Rising Phoenixes. You were waiting for that. Oh snap. Okay.
And the moment you check 3 blanks.
Oh, dude, yeah, those 3 blanks. I was like, See, I mean, hey, bro, I hit OT early, but there was no guarantee I was gonna get anything else good after that. Not at all.
Here was my hand. I have had these 3 PGs in my hand.
You know what? That is not good for this matchup.
That is
so good. It's really good that you killed here, because holy crap, is Glory Maelstrom the antithesis of a small hand with PGs?
No, I was not living this turn. I needed you dead, and my goodness, did you die spectacularly.
Oh, dude. I suppose I could have done 2 PGs to stop both of them, but I thought for sure I was going to hit another trigger there to try and stop the offense, but no, the gamble didn't pay off.
I also think if you had PG'd the blood, I was not going to kill you this turn.
But I had to protect Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom.
I honestly don't believe that extra 5k was gonna matter.
Well, it's also because I wanted to ensure that I would be able to do double Maelstrom for the next turn to get like good optimal numbers and swing for good numbers again, because you're at a 13k base, right? So that was my true plan, was to try and guarantee like a more explosive offense there, but I got greedy. Because in addition, right, you didn't have like the big persona ride number yet, so I thought that I would hit a defensive to try and stave off your offense later on, but I didn't. So in theory, yeah, I could have survived this turn had I not tried to play about in maximum safety, but there was a reasonable chance that I could have done it, because if you look at like my drop zone, right, I wasn't hitting a lot of triggers, and nor was there like a lot of my damage zone, right? That blessed favor was sort of an outlier, so there was I guess there's actually a couple triggers in there, but still, like it felt pretty reasonable. I could have hit at least one there, so one could call it a state of bad RNG, but I blamed this on my own misjudgment. And you saw the play line. You left yourself open to the possibility that I didn't hit anything, and as a result, it got you victory there. I looked at that big attack and I said, well, I need to hit the defensive anyway, because the defensive is the only thing that could save you from those other attacks. So overall, yeah, a pretty good match. Perhaps the biggest, like one of the big things too, the Blood's ability to pitch to ping a damage. Yeah, that carrying over is a very impactful skill. It was pretty strong.
I mean, it's what won me the game. More so being able to push you to 5. I'm like, all right, let's just see it. If he hits a defensive, because here's the thing, even if you did hit the defensive, no, you were still gonna live, because I wasn't.
Rising Phoenixes are 13k pokes, you know.
Yeah, but the more so it was obviously like just I swing once and then I swing again, and then but unfortunately I wasn't gonna have enough cards in hand to like or not enough power to, even if I called the call, one defensive would have shut down this charm.
Right. So one could be, and what's interesting about this, right, is we put it into contrast with what I did with Glory Maelstrom, where you hit a defensive, but it didn't shut me down. Every one of my attacks were able to connect, potentially connect, despite a defensive. However, I get why you went, like, you going up to 5 damage. I'm not sure how much of that was, like, voluntary, but, I mean, it kind of seemed like the reason you were doing that was because you wanted to make sure I didn't heal down.
So that was a side effect. Partially, it was simply I had too many PGs in my hand.
Oh, you didn't want to use them up here, right? Okay, that makes sense. That's
like,
pretty bad. PGs in early game is not usually the answer, unless of course you're fighting against some very high power decks. But yeah, I get what you mean. In a multi-attack deck like Aquaforce, not so much. So yeah, overall this game state, yeah, it was very radical. These are both pretty high power. I must say Glory Maelstrom does feel like the stronger deck, realistically speaking, because there's more fallibility in Blood's game plan. But the Blood is definitely an upgrade.
It is still such a good upgrade. Like, also just being able to give power to the front row. I'm not sure how much it mattered, but it probably definitely mattered that your target from Maelstrom last turn was Spark Spike and not the Kashin.
Ah, right. That it seemed like that mattered because you drove check one, and so it wasn't there in time. And you see, I surely thought that was the correct play because that thing was providing power and stuff.
It was because I had a second Kashin in hand as well. Like this one I drew.
Oh shoot! Okay, now you mention it. Okay. So yeah, regardless, right? There really was not there even though there was a kind of a way to avoid my fate, I don't regret my choice. It was a good fight. So I think probably the biggest takeaway after so we played Glory twice, and the Blood has now had their fight night, and honestly I might be tempted just to want to throw the Blood against Gondiva just because F it, why not? What we can gather from this is perhaps the biggest upgrade of these decks respectively is that immediate 5k to the front row. That 5k to the front row is so important to substantiate the numbers of your rear guards. We really need that. It's a little unfortunate though with the Blood that its Grade 3 or greater blocked to give power to its rear guards, whereas this one is not.
Which is kind of weird, not gonna lie. You know, even like just getting honestly would have been cool if it was just say your front row gets 5k power, and then if your opponent's Vanguard's Grade 3, it gets a crit.
Right. Yeah, like that's the thing. I think the power up should have been there immediately, and the crit could have been locked behind because then you could hit like dumb stuff, right? And the Drag Veta pressure also going twice could like really kill an opponent with that. But yeah, that's the thing. I think that this is what sort of separates those two decks. And also, cost-wise, it feels like it's a bit easier to multi in Glory Maelstrom versus in Kaiser. And because Kaiser, your multis are basically based on seeing your Rising Phoenixes. And if that wasn't enough, right? Another issue here is Kaiser doesn't really win out on the field control aspect because we have retires from Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom because Glory's enabling that as well. So overall, yeah, I would say despite the result of this game, it kind of feels like Blood is sort of fighting an uphill battle when comparing itself to Glory Maelstrom.
Very much so, also just due to the fact that like Vermillion in Standard has always just had this problem of hand advantage.
I'm a little disappointed they kept the discard. I felt like this would have been the perfect time for it to counterblast to ping instead of discard to ping.
Yeah. Because like you already removed the CB from its act skill to, let it hit like 2 units at once.
Right.
So like, and even though this thing CBs, honestly, it's the only thing on my deck that CBs. So what I'm also gonna use CB for.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You probably wouldn't like do it for like generic retire stuff because, I mean, realistically speaking, you want to hit your opponent's cards. That's what you want to do. So this deck is in a very weird position. It feels like it's still in need of some more support to try and define the value of choosing to play Vermillion over other decks, right? Because it's in a weird intersection where it doesn't really do better than other decks. Like, I would probably play Gondiva over this relatively speaking. The only reason I would play this over Gondiva is, quite frankly, I think the blood is way cooler than Gondiva, but you know, that's it. That's just an aesthetics argument. It's not a gameplay argument whatsoever. So yeah, even Glory's a bit overtuned, and the blood definitely brings this deck more into a fair standard, but I think it's very quickly going to get surpassed, it seems like.
You know what would have been great for the blood?
What's up?
Truly, if that con skill was, or like somehow, you know, it could give itself a drive, just like the V series version.
That could have helped, right? Like crit and drive, like in tandem, because you really need the pressure. And also, you know, the 5k power, it doesn't scale the way that Glory scales, right? So Glory's just going to get stronger as turns go on, but you sort of grow static in your power-ups, because nothing about this gets better.
The most, it like caps that, it would cap out at 20k to the front row. You get 5k from this, 5k from this,
and then 10k from Persona, right?
And in fact, Vermillion doesn't even get the, like, only gets plus 15, because he doesn't get the 5k from the Thunderbolt.
Right. So it's a little underwhelming in some aspects, but I'd say ultimately it's still pretty okay, right? We sort of came to that consensus here. If it ever got a support card, likely, like, it needs to be a support card that can convert Counterblast into card advantage. That seems to be the golden rule here.
Well, here's the thing, that at this point, I might just start using him, like, paying his cost with Counterblast.
Shoot, yeah, I mean, between Bellicosity and that grade 1, right? I mean, it feels like your energy's kind of called for by comparison, huh? So, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Spark Spike, why not? Like, just go for that. Okay. Yeah, that might be, so maybe there's something here still. And also, I noticed you weren't running, what was his name? Rough Coil or some crap?
Rough Coil, yeah, honestly, because there's just, like, is better Rough Call. It's searchable. It's you know, like off of Eternal, like, what is it?
Oh, because it's a Narukami card, and Narukami type is important.
And while Rough Call does kind of have that, like, capability of constantly coming back in a sense, it's like,
Yeah, I get what you mean. And again, this thing converting Counterblast for just raw power and the ability to get back Rising Phoenixes, sure. You know what? It works. It's worth it. So yeah, I think this deck list seems pretty, like, well designed overall. A deck list you guys can check out down in the description below. I'm also gonna have the Glory Maelstrom deck list down here, which pretty much blow for blow is more or less what Xenon was bringing to the table too. I think I made a couple different ratio difference, but still, both these decks are basically the best that you're probably going to get from these decks as from the time being, because there's not a lot of goofy stuff that you can do with them. They're fairly solved lists that are self-contained within their own pseudo clan support lines. So go ahead and give them a whirl and see what you guys think about these decks. And if you want to check out the fight nights, do be sure to check out the playlist in the description, as well as the playlist that will probably pop up at the end of the video, because that's just how I do these things. Also, we got all sorts of other Vanguard content. I'm talking top 10s, discussions, anime reactions, the whole shebang, so check it out. And also be sure to check out the Discord, another link for that down below as well. We do tournaments, have a lot of discussions. We're actually about to do a V Revival tournament as well. We're trying to bring back V series with a bunch of customs, and it's a really cool project, so check that out if you are interested in it. And with all that said, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notification bell for below the video. Take care. God bless.